I think he realized at some point that it's going to end at some point, and just hitting. And, I don't know. You should really talk to him about how he's feeling, what he's trying to do, and what he's thinking. But obviously, it's been an incredible run, really, since the All-Star break. And really, it's been just been a really good year in general to this point. But, you start tomorrow, go again. Or the next day.
That swing in the eighth inning looks like home run's the last thing on his mind there.
Well, I don't know. If that ball's down a little bit, that ball goes into right center, he's probably maybe sticking out over the plate, and the ball just gets up and gets in there a little bit. So I think, I think his intent is always danger in general. And if the ball, beats him to a spot, then you just don't quite get there. But if he catches it on time, the ball's kind of the area he's trying to cover, it's a ball he could hit out of right center very easily.
AJ was saying last night that teams were pitching him tougher, that they were giving him only one or two pitches that he could drive at night. Did you see that too over the course of this?
I don't know. I think, I think he's always, he's been swinging the bat really good, so it's not really, I don't think it was about the streak so much. I think it was about just this guy's dangerous right now, and you're going to try to get the next guy. If you can, you want to be careful. But I think over the last couple of days, it kind of grows a little bit. But I think we've seen with Bumgarner last night that he's on the attack all the time. And Matt's a little bit a different pitcher. Not that he's not challenging, but he has to pitch differently. He thinks maybe a little differently, so it's not the same thing. But he had a couple pitches to hit today. Thought he fouled a ball or two back, and that's a difference.
That record for you, where do you rank it in your career achievements? Do you see it as kind of a fluky thing, or is it? For me,
I looked at it as really more of a hot streak than anything else. I wasn't really a home run guy like Giancarlo, so I looked at it more like a little hot streak. And you just try to ride that wave as long as you can. It's not necessarily the home runs. It's usually you're swinging the bat good in that stretch, and that's really what G's been doing. Just with G, when he's swinging the bat good, I'm hitting singles and doubles mostly, and he's hitting balls 500 feet. So different things, but in general, you're swinging the bat good, and you're feeling good, and you're in a little bit of a groove. So that's where it really ends up. Well, I think he just keeps going. I seen the other day that he's leading the league in number of pinch hits, or at least at bats, and it's always you always feel comfortable with him up there, and so it's always, no matter really who they throw, each is going to give you a good at bat.
Right, so to play a teammate to take the ball all the way to kind of being big,
Yeah, it was a funky game, really. There was a lot of balls. We get a little break in the first, and we end up capitalizing with 2 runs on a line drive, maybe knuckling or something. They get their run on Telly's ball off Telly. Even in that one, D had a chance to possibly get a guy at first. Then we see that play, which was a big out at the time. So it was a little bit of a sloppy game, it felt like. But we were able to kind of keep tacking on runs and made it better for us. We were able to rest the guys out of our pen that we really wanted to rest. Not have to use, different guys, and, Rena kept us in there for his innings.
Obviously, that Crawford dropped opened up the door, and then Talise gives you that double. It was kind of,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. When, it was a sloppy game, we get a break there in the first with that. I don't know what happens on the play. It's one of those plays you think he's going to get a play.
Talise specifically,
Oh, yeah, Telly's been swinging the bat good. Telly can really hit. And I think as a guy moving forward, depending where we go, you look at him, you want him to keep growing as a catcher. Like I talked about him, a week, 10 days ago. He's been working with AJ, making sure he understands the system as far as us, how we're trying to go after hitters and things like that. That's an area for him to grow in. But him being able to play first, is a valuable piece for us because you see us what we're able to do. We're able to mix and match over there at first. It gives us another spot to double. He gives you a true pinch hitter, a guy that can really hit off the bench, right or left-handed. So he's a valuable piece, in the scheme of a season for a team. And if you go 3 catchers or you go 2 and him be able to do some things. So when you're 3 catchers, it really gives you a lot of flexibility, especially if you got JT can play first, he can play first. We're able to do some things the day JT doesn't play, he can pinch hit, things like that. All right.
Do you think 60 home runs was gettable? And obviously there's been a long period that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think for certain guys. I mean, obviously it's not attainable for D or anybody like that, but I think there's certain guys that are just that guy every year almost. And I think Giancarlo's been that guy for a while. It seems like it was just a matter of him staying on the field long enough, right? So he's had some years where he would have exploded. It would have been in this range too if he'd kept playing, right, or been able to keep playing. So I think it's attainable for guys that have that kind of power. It's just stupid pop because they hit pop-ups that go out. And so one guy may crush a ball to center, and he has to absolutely crush it to get it to go out. And then he can actually miss a ball to center or right and still hit a ball out. And that's just the difference in the guys with home run, true home run power, all fields, any direction. The ballpark doesn't matter. So I do think it's attainable.